Contrast uncut, yeah, you know that's us. Where we only speak the real and the real rock with us. Where we motivate the people and politic on success. Oh no, we ain't DJ Khaled, but they swearing we the best. Contrast uncut, contrast uncut, contrast uncut, contrast uncut.
What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut, Season 3, Episode 26. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. This your host, Zylo, a.k.a. DJ $1, like I want some money. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very incredible special guest today. He is a true super producer, a singer, songwriter, an artist at heart. You know, he's from the trio City High, Grammy nominated for one of my favorite songs growing up because, you know, it's nothing like having a struggle song you can relate to. And as crazy as life can be, so many people can relate to so many elements. And, you know, that song struck me so close. And, you know, he's been a part of hits with Will Smith, Miami, to working with Chris Brown, to working with so many artists across the map. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Ryan Toby, King Toby in the building. How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, bless up, man. Bless up. All is well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the time, brother. You know, you keep your perspective with manifestation, prayer, and hard work, and put the work in. All you can do is enjoy the fruits of the labor when you get done.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Man, come on. It's more of an honor that just me, you, my brother. Just to be honest, you know. So I got this quote, you know, it's a little short, but it's to the point. And, you know, I want to know how it relates to you, or if it doesn't, I just want you to talk about it. All right, here we go. If you respect nothing else, you will respect this hustle. T.I. Tip.
You asking me how that relates to me?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm living that right now. You know what I mean? I'm putting out my songs for the Lockdown series, which is basically me dropping an album every Friday. And I've done so for the last 7 Fridays in a row. Tonight, Volume 8 will be coming out at midnight, so that'll make 8 weeks in a row. I put out 8 albums. And, you know, my mindset was exactly that quote. Like, okay, I know everybody ain't gonna like every song. I know people are gonna have their favorites. I know some people may not even like the artwork. They might not like this. They may not like that. They may not even like me. They may feel however they may feel about the music. But you will respect my hustle. You will respect my grind. You cannot deny that what I'm doing is unprecedented. You cannot deny that what I'm doing is of a high level of quality and a high level of excellence. You cannot deny that my work ethic is ungodly. You can't deny that, you know what I mean, or that it's godly, I'll say. Not ungodly, that it is godly.
Come on.
You can't deny that I'm not you know, my productivity and my output rate is just insane. And that you can't also deny that I'm not putting light and love out into the universe and out into the world right now in a time where people are low and people are feeling, you know, they might be in a dark place. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody is basically on house arrest and everybody's kind of feeling like, you know, where do we go to? Where do we turn to? And I've decided to do my part and use my gifts and my talents to bring some love and some light to the world. So, I mean, you could complain about it, you can criticize it, but that's all you're gonna do. I'd rather be the nigga that's giving you something to criticize than be the guy that's sitting at home criticizing shit. You feel me? So, you know, you can't deny my hustle, fam. You can't deny it.
It's undeniable, timeless music. And I mean, you represent something that needs to be recreated. The rhythm and blues of society. I mean, that love, that trial and error, the hardship to overcome obstacles, all that energy embodied into music is, you know, something that we miss, we lack. You know, Marvin Gaye's era, that whole love era, and taking that energy and making it into something great. We don't have that. Ain't no one walking around happy-go-lucky anymore until a certain energy or, you know, a godly like vibe comes along and pushes it on the wax and not afraid to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like, I mean, R. Kelly gave us 20 years of magical music, magical R&B, dope stories, banging baby makers, banging club jams. He was the king of R&B for a long time. His life took a different turn. He's no longer that guy. Somebody got to fill that lane. Somebody got to be the one that kind of at least try to step into the role of like taking the reins and like, being the one that's gonna give the world that magic, give the world that rhythm and blues, give the world that soul, give the world them bops, give the world them baby makers. You know what I mean? And so I figure I took the mantle upon my shoulders and I say I'll do it. I'll go at least go for it, at least try.
Right, right. And you know, the resurgence is coming. It's coming. And you know, I'm
Yeah.
happy that they're talking about highlight years and reusing those highlight years in their music. And you know, as before I go any further about the music, I gotta ask you this question. And you know, I ask every guest this question, and I'm talking about music. Did the game choose you or did you choose the game?
I feel like music chose me, but I chose the music game. The music industry is something that I chose. Music itself, the spirit of creativity, the spirit of musical manifestation, the spirit of melody, harmony, the spirit of poetry, the spirit of lyric and metaphor. That's something that chose me. That bit me on the neck. When I was 5 years old, 5, 6, 7 years old. I grew up in the '80s. I grew up in the era of Michael Jackson, Thriller. I grew up in the era of Prince, Purple Rain.
Come on.
So I grew up in the era of the dawn of hip hop, the beginning of hip hop, '83, Run DMC and all of that, Curtis Blow and all of that, breakdance and b-boy and graffiti and all of that. That's the era that I grew up in. So the creation of the King of Pop was the era that I was born into. The creation of Prince, man, another king of rock and roll. That was the era that I was born into. And then Run DMC being the kings of rock. That was the era I was born into. So that musical bug, that chose me. But as I got older and I started understanding that there was a career to be had, there was money to be made, and things of that nature, that's when I, around the age of 14, 15, chose the music game, the music industry, which is two different things. Music, the craft, and the music, the business are two different things.
Facts. And if you got your game messed up on either end, you won't make it, or you will be taken advantage of.
Exactly. Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's all good, brother. So, you know, I want to ask you, you know, what was your first confirmation? You know, what was the first time that you got the call us of like, you know, the news of this is what you're supposed to be doing with your life? A big opportunity that, you know, you went from a low and you got a high, and that high was a, you know, confirmation. What was that?
I think when I landed the role in the movie Sister Act 2 with Whoopi Goldberg and Lauryn Hill, and that was the first thing I ever auditioned for ever in my life. I had never been in an audition before, let alone for a major film. When I landed that role, that was a big sign that I was supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? And then, to even go a step further, when I really just made up a freestyle rap that they ended up using in the film, in the big finale scene in Joyful Joyful, when the dudes break down the song and they start rapping Joyful Joyful Lord I wrote that rap, and my lawyer made sure I got paid. So that was the introduction to me into the world of writing, for projects, writing for other artists. I got my first gold record when I was 16, and those were two big signs that this is what I was supposed to be doing: singing, putting out my own music and writing for other artists, writing for projects, writing for television shows, writing for films. That was a big sign right there, right from the gate.
Wow. So, you know, as we talked about the first big moment, what are some of the highs and lows throughout your career that, you know, you're willing to talk about?
Well, right from the gate, that was a big high. I feel like immediately following that was a low because, um, contrary to popular belief, Sister Act 2 was actually considered a flop compared to the first one. The first movie, Sister Act, did about 250 million in the box office. The second one only did about 50 million. So in comparison, in contrast, they considered that a flop. So so the film wasn't like a big, huge monster success in the theater. So my life, when the film came out, Thanksgiving of '93, after that, I went back to high school. Nothing changed. I wasn't no big superstar. I wasn't king of my city. None of that shit. I just went right back to high school. Life was regular. It's not like everybody and their mama saw the movie. And, some of my friends and family saw it, but they didn't treat me no different. And it wasn't until Sister Act 2 started to play on television and it started to come on, recurringly, and it started to have what do you call oh man, what is the word? When a show plays over and over and over again.
Oh, rerun.
Yeah, like reruns and stuff like that. Exactly. When the show started to air like that, that's when the fame of it started to grow. That's when it started to become a cult classic. And people started to recognize me. Yo, you the dude. Yo, we just watched that. Yo, we just watched that. Then the movie came out on video. And people, yo, man, we watched that movie every day. Yo, we were winding the tape till the tape broke, watching your part. So a big high, landing in the movie, all of that. Then a big low, because nothing was popping after that. For like 5 years. I couldn't get no record deal. I thought I was going to be a big time star. I thought I was going to be Tevin Campbell. I thought I was going to go get a record deal after the movie. Nada. So I'm like, damn, I don't know what's going on with my life. So that went on, man, for years. So then fast forward from 93, let's fast forward to 97, 98. I'm working with Jazzy Jeff down at his studio in Philly called A Touch of Jazz. And I was like one of many young artists from the area, South Jersey, in Philadelphia area. A young Jill Scott was hanging around at that time. A young Music Soul Child was hanging around at that time.
Wow.
A young Glenn Lewis was hanging around at that time. Very young Floetry was around in the studio at that time. So we was all just youngsters developing our craft, and Jeff opened his doors to us and allowed us to just like hone our skills and just get dope. And so I was one of a few that used to come down, and I'm working with Jeff, and we was working on like trying to, get some songs for me done to get me a record deal. And all of a sudden, different artists started coming down, and Jeff would throw me in a room to write for him. So I got a chance to work with Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish. I wrote his first single when he did a solo album. I got a chance to write a theme song for a television show called Between Brothers. I got the opportunity to work with a couple of different artists. Then Will Smith came down. Will Smith comes down to the studio after he does Men in Black. He's gonna do a comeback album, so obviously he gonna come and fuck with his boy Jeff. That's his best friend. He like, yo man, I know you got some heat down here. Let me hear what you got. So Jeff was playing Will some of my shit, because my shit on my songs, I was singing and rapping. Now, mind you, this is 1997, so it wasn't even the cool thing to do. I couldn't get a record deal because I was singing and rapping. Record companies told me it was too confusing. Now, fast forward 20 years later, every rapper is singing on his hooks and rapping and singing, and every nigga want to be Drake. But back then in 97, it was hard to get a record deal because of that.
Because, something that people forget about is the Bobby Brown era. Bobby Brown, he definitely made it the whole New Jack Swing sound.
Yeah.
But it discouraged so many other record labels to really enhance other artists to have those dual capabilities and cross-market genres. And so...
So it was tough. It was real tough. And so, that was like another low. So boom, it was another high, because I got to work with all these artists down at Jeff's. But then the low was I couldn't get a record deal. So I'm just like, damn, man, what do I got to do? So I worked with Will Smith. I end up writing 4 songs on his Big Willie Style album. And one of those songs was Welcome to Miami. And but when we were done working on the album, life kind of went back to normal. And the album hadn't come out yet, so we didn't know what was going to happen with that album. So life kind of went back to normal, man. I was kind of going through it. I didn't know what my money situation was. My girlfriend was pregnant at the time. I was just like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So I run into my old manager, my first manager named Marvin Thompson, who basically groomed me. We hadn't worked together in quite a while, but we ran back into each other. And he was like, yo, what you doing now? I told him I was working with Jeff. I just finished working with Will. He was like, that's dope. He was like, yo, man, you need to maybe come do some writing for this artist that I got that actually, you know, he was like, he went to your high school, kid named Robbie. So I was like, Robbie. So Robbie was younger than me, like 2 years. He was 2 grades behind me. So I had already graduated, but I remembered him, little singing dude, whatever. He used to sing in like the choirs and the shows and stuff when I was there. So I was like, oh yeah, I know him, you know, young boy, whatever. He's like, yeah. He said, Wyclef just signed him. Wyclef got a new label called Booger Basement with his cousin Jerry Wonder. I was like, oh, okay, bet. He was like, yo, you should come do some writing for him. So I'm like, all right, cool. Started writing with Robbie for his solo project. And the songs was coming out fire, whatever. And then one day, Robbie was like, yo, man, come with me to the studio to go rock out with Clef. He was like, Wyclef wants me to come sing on this Whitney Houston song he's working on called My Love Is Your Love. Wyclef is working on the Whitney Houston joint. So I go up to the studio. Now, mind you, I already knew Wyclef through Lauryn Hill from Sister Act 2. So the little 6 degrees of separation, I knew Clef. Like me and Clef battle rapped in front of Lauren's crib at her baby shower, like all kinds of shit. Wow. So Clef knew full well who I was. He knew what my capabilities were, my talents. So when I walked in the room, Clef was like, oh shit, you're the writer? He was like, you're the dude that's been writing these songs with Rob? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, Bomba Cloud. He started speaking all this patois. He was like, yo, this little nigga right here is the truth. Yo, this nigga battled me for like 2 hours at Lauren's crib. So, you know what I mean? It was a vibe. So from there, me and Clef started catching up, whatever, talking, what have you. And he even had me sing some backgrounds and some ad-libs and stuff on the Whitney Houston My Love Is Your Love song. And then he was like, yo, so what you doing now? I told him my situation. Yeah, you know, I'm working with Jeff, but I can't really get no deal right now. I just finished working with Will Smith, but the album ain't come out yet, so I don't know what's going on with that. I'm kind of in a weird limbo right now. He was like, man, we just got a new label. He was like on Interscope. He was like, you should come rock with us. Come rock with our squad. So I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. He was like, matter of fact, you and Robbie got such a vibe. Y'all should be a group. Y'all could be like the new Casey and JoJo, like some young Casey and JoJo shit. So I was like, word? He's like, come on, man. I needed the money. He's like, nigga, I give you 30 bands right now. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. I needed the bread. So originally City High was me and Robbie. It was a duo. And Claudette would just be singing. She would just kind of be featured on our hooks. That's why on What Would You Do, she's just singing on the chorus. That was our song. And we just had her feature on the chorus. But when Clef and them heard, you know, they heard the record, they're like, yo, who's Shorty? So obviously they fell in love with her when they met her. They saw her like, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. So they was like, we need to put her in a group. Y'all could be like the new Fuji. So it just kept growing. It's like, y'all could be the next this. Y'all could be the next that. So then Claudette joins the group. Now it's a trio. And we just started recording the album and shit. And then after that, we recorded the album. And then, you know, it took about a year or so. Mind you, in the middle of all of that, Will Smith drops Getting Jiggy With It. That shit goes like #1. So now money is flooding in for me. And I'm like, I'm in this group now, but I'm like super paid. So like, you know, even Clef and I'm like, damn nigga, you pulling up to the studio with more jewelry on than me. Like, what the fuck you got going on? Like I told you, I've been writing with Will Smith, boy. Like, what you talking about, boy? You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, that Will Smith album sold about 22 million copies. So I ate pretty good on that joint. I had 4 songs on that album. And I ain't even have a publishing deal. So all that money was coming straight to me. So, yeah, so that was a major high from a low. You know what I mean? Then life went back up again. And so, you know what I mean? The group, it was super successful. We went platinum. We toured. We were nominated for a Grammy. We had the best-selling single in the country for like 2 weeks. We was beating Janet Jackson. We was crushing. And then another low was the group started having inner turmoil. Group broke up, and life kind of went back down again. But then during that low time, we was trying to record a second album, but it was pretty evident that the chemistry in the group had fizzled due to all kinds of internal problems. So I got a call from my man who used to be signed to Jazzy Jeff as a producer too back when I was signed. His name was Andre Harris, and he's actually who I just did my run on the mountain with today. And Dre called me, and me and Dre hadn't talked since I left Jeff's camp and went to Wyclef's camp. So Dre hit me and was like, bruh, like, what's good? We catched up, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, yo, bro, he had left Jeff as well, him and Vidal Davis. He was like, yo, I got a new crib with a studio, da-da-da-da. He was like, yo, let's just get back in. Let's rock like how we used to rock. I was like, all right, bet. So I went, stayed at Dre's crib for the weekend, and we started cooking up some songs. And the first idea that we came up with, after not seeing each other in all the years, the very first idea we came up with ended up being Superstar, which went on Usher's Confessions album.
Wow.
So, and when we were finished the idea, and he was like, yo, this song is crazy. He was like, yo, I think this will work for Usher. I was like, word, you think so? And he's like, yeah, man, plus we got a new plug with L.A. Reid. He fucking with us right now. I'm going to send this to L.A. Reid. I said, all right, cool. He sent it to L.A. Reid. I think I got a call maybe like 2 weeks later or so, week later or so. It was like, yo, L.A. Reid loved the song. He wants to fly us all to Atlanta to go work with Usher. So I was like, all right, bet. So we flew to Atlanta, and we did about 5 songs for that album. And out of the 5, 3 of them went on that album. So life went back up again.
So King,
that album came out, did $1 million in a week. Huh?
Let me ask you this on that Usher project.
Say that one more time.
On the Usher project, the Superstar that was on, you got 4 of them on there. How long of a process was it like back then to get a full project out? From Will Smith to Usher, like I know that they have a history of taking time to release their projects. So like I'm pretty sure it dropped in 2004 in March. So I'm like, they must have been done
a year.
2002.
Yeah. No. Well, Confessions. We flew to Atlanta in April 2003, and we worked with him April 2003. We kind of just was working with him on and off for the rest of that year, from April 2003 all the way to Christmas, really Thanksgiving time, and then the album came out March 2004, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was actually one of his quicker albums, actually. You know what I mean? And then a lot of his other albums took a lot longer, but that was actually one of his quicker albums.
He's a perfectionist. And I mean, a lot of people you work with are perfectionists. So it's only right that I ask you, how much does that weigh on you to be a perfectionist?
Oh, I mean, heavy. I mean, I've been fortunate to be around nothing but heavy hitters my whole career. I mean, from the dawn of Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, come on, man, Academy Award winner. You feel me? And so I've been around nothing but heavy hitters, professionals, people who were at in the highest level of their game in the craft. So all I know is perfection. I don't know how to not deliver nothing else but top quality, professional, radio ready smashes. That's all. I've been trained and conditioned to only do that. I don't know how to just go do demos and rough ideas. That's not how I work. I make songs. I don't make demos and rough ideas. I make records. You feel me? And that's just the school I was raised in.
Fair enough. And it's like, I do want to ask you, because it sounds like to me you definitely reinvented yourself over and over and over again. And so, what were some of the elements that allowed you to do it, and what made you so comfortable to fall in love with love music the way you did?
I missed that last part. You got a little choppy. You said what allowed me to do it and what else?
What allowed you to do it, and what made you fall in love with love music like that?
I mean, I've always been in love with love music. I've always been in love with R&B. Like I said, I came up in the Michael Jackson and Prince era. I mean, even the LL Cool J, I Need Love era. So I'm from that original school, so that was always and then obviously the Stevie Wonders, the Donny Hathaways, the Marvin Gayes, Smokey Robinsons, Motown. I mean, you name it, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, like Mariah Carey. Like I'm a child of the '80s and the '90s, golden era. So I always had the love for the love music. I'm an R&B dude through and through and through. You feel what I'm saying? Um,
The reason why I
what
asked
allowed me to.
King, the reason why I asked that is because I asked one, like I got the same spirit talking to you that I got from talking to Slim and Mike from 112. And you know, they grew up in projects in Atlanta, and you know, you came up from Jersey. So I'm like, you had the option to tell the story, you know, because you could tell the story any way you want. You can go, what is it, you know, damn it, the stealing car movie. I mean, you could take it to that gangster era.
Oh, New Jersey Drive.
New Jersey Drive, that's my shit. I met whatchamacallit from it not too long ago at the NAACP Awards, and that shit was dope. But you know, that whole movie, you know, that was the whole impression of what we thought about Jersey, and they was gangster. They was with the shit. They had policemen with dreads. We couldn't get that in Cali. Like, you know, that impression was there. And so I'm like, you know, he chose the route to go with the love music. So I'm always curious to ask that question. I know it's crazy and it sounds weird, but it's like, you know, I asked that question to them and I was blown away on the answer. And I'm like, if I ever get that spirit again to ask somebody that, I'm just gonna go for it. And so, you know, I hit you with it.
I mean, it was to get the girls, bro. Like, I mean, I tried my hand at the thug route. I tried my hand at the street route. I went through my knucklehead phase. I was running with the homies and getting arrested all the time and getting kicked out of different schools. And mom got to come pick me up from the courthouse and the police station and all that other bullshit. And the judge telling my mom he got one more strike and I'm sending him away, you know, and all this other shit, and watching my mama cry and all this other stuff. And I was just like, that shit don't get you no girls. That shit make you cool with the homies. I like women. So I'd rather be somewhere singing to some females than be out in the street tussling and bustling with a bunch of dudes rolling around on the ground fighting and shooting at each other and all that other goofy shit. I'd rather be somewhere with some bras, some females, my nigga, and singing, and you know what I'm saying, and the girls. I was after the girls, bro. So you know, once I learned, and I wasn't I was a late bloomer when it came to like puberty and stuff. I didn't hit puberty till I was like 18. I mean, I still kind of got a baby face, you know what I mean? So it's like I had that baby face, so it wasn't like I was the big time athlete. I wasn't dunking no basketball, you know what I'm saying? I was shorter than all my homies. I wasn't like killing it on the football field or nothing like that. And you know, in school, you either gonna be the nerdy dude, the academic kid, you're gonna be the super jock athlete, or you gonna be the thug, you know what I mean, smoking weed, selling drugs, or you gonna be the talented singing ass nigga, you know what I mean, rapping ass singing nigga. So I chose number 4. I was like, well, I'm gonna be the funny guy, I'm gonna be the talented guy, I'm gonna be, you know what I mean, the one to make the girls laugh, the nigga that can spit a freestyle and break a nigga's outfit down, you know what I mean, look at your shoes, nigga, you crying the blues, you know what I mean, and all that other bullshit. So I decided to be that guy, you know what I mean, and it worked for me.
There it is. There it is. Man, what's something about music today that catches your attention where it keeps you, you know, wanting to keep on going?
Honestly, I love the youth, man. I love what the young generation brings to the table. I like hearing new ideas. I just like hearing new shit. I'm not one of those guys from the 90s that still lives in the 90s. I don't ride around blasting old music. I like hearing new music. I like hearing what Travis Scott and Ray Shrimmer and, you know, Lil Uzi and, you know what I mean, fucking Roddy Ricch. And I like hearing the new shit. I like hearing what the youngsters is doing because I just love new music. I like new music. I always have and I always will. I just like new sonics. I like new approaches. I like new cadences. I like new melodies. I mean, you know, with Drake and I'm just all about what the kids are doing. Whatever the kids are doing, you know what I mean? And I don't like every song, but I love what they're doing. I love their movement. I love their approach. I like how they get into the money. I like how they're quick to, you know, they share, they collab with each other. They don't really have no rules on like, oh, you from New York, you got to rap like you from New York. Oh, I'm from LA, I got to. They ain't got none of that. They just doing what feels good. And they fuck with each other, and I'm just all about it. I just love everything about the millennial generation and what they got going.
No, I appreciate that because, you know, a lot of the time I get upset with the youngsters. I'm 32, so I'm about to be 33. I'm not that young, but I'm also not that old. But I have a very high appreciation for the young stuff and the old stuff. And a lot of the youngsters don't give appreciation and pay homage. And you know, that's my biggest thing is to pay homage because we won't know where we're going unless we have someone to tell us where they've been. And so, and it's
but
like
they do pay homage. They pay homage. They pay homage when you earn their respect. You can't just walk in the room and just be like, little nigga, you know who I am? Y'all better recognize, and y'all better recognize the old school. Y'all better recognize where it comes from. They're not inclined to pay homage just automatically. But they'll fuck with you when you come in the room. And for me, like, see, I don't look my age. So I'm 43. You feel me? But I walk in the room, they think I'm sometimes 26. They think I'm, especially when I'm dressed up and I'm all, you know what I mean? I'm dripped out. They'll think I'm fucking your age, 33, whatever. So they think I'm one of them. But then when they start hearing me talk and they hear the knowledge coming out of their mouth, they like, damn. And then when I get on the mic or on the pen and now I'm murdering their shit, when I press play and my shit bang harder than their shit, then it's like, damn, bro. Respect. Damn, OG. Yo, OG. So I earn my respect. And I was raised to earn my respect. Now, I'm the type of dude, I pay homage, but I come from an era that paid homage to the older cats. And I get it. These young kids was raised differently, man. A lot of them was raised in single-parent homes. They ain't had no daddy. They ain't had no OGs. They ain't had nobody to really give them the game. So they was raised with another kind of mentality. And I understand that. So I come in the room humbly, and I earn my respect. You feel me? I don't need you to just pay me homage right off the top. I'll earn it. I'm going to press play on your ass, and my shit going to slap. And then you're going to be like, damn, you got it, OG. And I'm okay with that. You know what I
No,
mean?
that energy must be incredible. I mean, I could just tell it's electrifying to go through that. Because it's like,
yeah, man.
Know, I grew up in LA, and you got to give respect to get respect. Where I come from, you got to, nod down before you nod up. And so, you know, that's just the element of being on the West Coast and dealing with the gangsters. And at the same time, I got a skin color that I got to blend in and talk and really get myself asserted before two things happen. I get knocked down or I get a pass. And I ain't never been knocked down.
Yeah, facts. I got you.
So, no, I appreciate you digging into that, Brad, because, it's important that these people understand the appreciation that you have, but also, brother, the process and the journey along the way for you to say that.
Well, because you gotta understand something. The music industry is a what have you done lately type of industry. The music industry itself don't respect nobody. It moves on without you. I heard Timbaland say in an interview, he has to prove himself. He said he feel like he gotta prove himself every year. And this is Timbo. He say, I feel like I gotta prove myself every year because motherfuckers will forget. I mean, listen, if Dr. Dre was to drop the Detox album that we've been waiting for so long, right now, and if that Detox album was 2% less than what you felt like it was supposed to be, everybody would be like, oh, Dre fell off. Everybody will forget the 25 plus years of nonstop bangers that Dr. Dre has given us. They'll forget because of one album. He puts out Detox. Oh, the Detox, it's just all right, man. Dre fell off. That's how the whole game is. The game will forget you. You feel me? So with that being said, I've been in this game. I've been raised by the music game. I've been raised since I was 14 years old, bro. I'm 43, nigga. That's 28 years. You dig? So it's about to be 29 years I've been in the game, and all I know is you better be hot now, nigga. Fuck what you did yesterday. I'm hot now, and that's what I pride myself on. So I don't need to walk in the room and have all the young boys bow down to me because of my old shit. Nah, nigga, let's press play now. Give me the aux cord now. Let me plug up right now and blow your head off right now with my now shit. Not my old shit, my now shit. I'm still nice now, nigga. My bars is still fire right now, boy. I'll still sing you under the table right now, boy. And my six-pack is on fleek. And I'll outrun you up the mountain. Like, I'm going hard. You got to work for that shit all the time. I don't never rest on my laurels. I don't rest on what I did and what I've done. And that's like an old man mentality. The old bitter man, he'll rest on what he did and just want everybody to bow down because of some shit you did in 83. Nah, dog. The world is moving on without you, cuz. We ain't even talking about them years no more, bro. So you gotta be getting it now, bro. And that's the mentality I had. I gotta get it now. I want it now. I want to be fired now. I want to be in shape now. I want to be rich now. I want to be popping now. I want my music to be hard as fuck now. I don't have time to complain about what the young boys is doing. I'm more so studying what they doing, and then I'm gonna do it better than them.
Come on, come on, facts, facts. That makes a lot of sense too, man. That makes a ton of sense. You gotta adapt, overcome, and utilize what's now with what you already got. It's in you.
Absolutely. Because the good old days ain't never coming back, bro. You can't name me one time in history when the good old days came back around. They don't come back. And even if they do come back, it's going to be a different version of it. I mean, they're going to remix Superman 1,000,000 times, but it's always a new version. They're going to remix Batman 100 times, but it's always a new version, is it not?
No,
they're going to bring back the Joker, but it's always going to be a new version, is it not?
Come on, come on.
So the good old days will never come back. They'll never come back. So, you know?
I will say this, history repeats itself. You know, if we go back, Spanish flu, we got coronavirus, 100 years. And if we take that same terminology and us going through the depression and recession that we about to go through and all the shit, we going to have us some good years in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. And then we're going to go back to some bullshit from the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, listen, things repeat themselves, but never exactly the same. That's my point. There's always going to be a new spin. It's going to be a new remix. Yeah, we might be experiencing the Spanish flu again, but we got the internet. They didn't have the internet in the 20s. There's always a new spin on it. There's always something different and a new factor and a new dynamic that's a part of when history comes back around. There's always a new dynamic. I mean, Dr. Dre, shit, he was sampling All Parliament Funkadelic from the 70s. He was sampling that 20 years later, but it was different. It was called G-Funk. When Parliament did it, it was called P-Funk. Dr. Dre brought it back. Warren G brought it back. They called it G-Funk, and it was a whole nother vibration, was it not?
Facts, 100%.
Okay, so it was different. It was different. It was different. So, you know, I definitely believe in the 20-year cycle. I know things come back around. That's why we're able to make remakes of songs and they work again. That's why Khaled was able to do Maria Maria, flip it and do Wild Thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that concept, but it's always different, bro.
Facts.
It's always different.
No, I like how you enhanced my statement to make it more real and more sticky. Because you made that shit stick like it was some bubble gum on the back of a seat. Man.
That's what's up.
So, Brett, I'm going to take a pause on the music because I could talk to you about music for fucking 10 years probably. So let me put a pause on that because I got this segment that I feel like is very important and my listeners do enjoy hearing it from their favorite artist, producer, athlete, actor. And I have this thing about police interaction. And, you know, I've been a youngster on the block and in the cars that don't know how to interact with them. But, you know, my folks and everybody I ride with, I'm the only white person. And, you know, I get thrown to the ground like everybody else. I'm in poverty just trying to get it. And so, you know, I bring up this whole segment because I didn't know what to do. And two, it's more prevalent now than ever that awareness needs to be in interaction with police, period. So I asked my guests when was the last time they were pulled over. And the next thing I want to say is, you know, what's some advice you know what to do in the event of getting pulled over.
What's the last part? I missed the last part. The last part.
What's some advice you can give to a youngster or an adult that don't know what to do in a situation and getting pulled over?
The last time I've been pulled over was a couple of years ago, actually. A few years ago. I don't really get pulled over. Number one, I want to say to don't ride dirty. Niggas need to stop riding dirty. Number one, stop giving them a reason to pull you over. Number two, if they're pulling you over for no reason at all, which I totally understand, if you know you ain't riding dirty, stay calm. That's my best advice. Now, I know that don't work for everybody, and I know some niggas get harassed so much that they are fed up with staying calm, and I'm respectful of that. Personally, I don't live in the neighborhood. I moved out of most neighborhoods where that kind of harassment goes on. I moved to the suburbs where I don't really get police don't be sweating me like that. And I ride pretty low. I stay low with mine. I ain't riding around in the most expensive looking car. I ain't bringing too much attention to myself. And not to say that these are reasons for the police to violate our rights, but one thing my brothers and sisters have to understand is that this country was not built for us, man. They did not have us in mind when they wrote the Constitution, bro. They didn't write that shit for us. And we keep acting surprised when they violate rights that were never meant for us. Get that through your head, bro. Like, they didn't build this country for us. Matter of fact, once they got to the point of freeing us from the free slave labor, they was done with us. That's why they was go back to Africa. They was done. They was like, well, what the fuck are y'all good for if y'all ain't gonna be working for us for free? Get the fuck out of here then. So when you just understand that the system wasn't built to help you, it just makes you move a little different. And for me personally, and I even told my wife this, I tell my sons this, I'm like, look, if we get pulled over, I tell my wife, you better stay as calm as you possibly can. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Don't start screaming. Don't start yelling. Don't try to pull your phone out. Fuck that. You're only raising the vibration, the bullshit vibration that's already going on. I try to stay as calm as possible. Hello, officer. What, how you doing? What's up? I pulled up. No, sir, what's going on? Now, if I was speeding a little bit, then I admit that I was speeding, man. I take the ticket. I pay my fucking ticket. I ain't going to argue with this, man. A lot of people got a chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove. And I just think got shit to prove like that. I'm not the type of dude, I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of sun gazing, and I go running in the mountains and things like that to keep my composure calm and cool. Because even if if I had a little squab, if I got into a little beef with you on the street, my goal is to stay calm. I'm not going to engage your bullshit, homie, because I know that could lead to one of us dying or going to jail. It's just not worth it. So even if you popping up, and the true temperament of a master, of a real true master, is that he knows how to remain calm, because he knows at the end of the day, I already know what I could do to you, bro. I don't have to prove that. I don't let my ego get in the way. Feel me? So I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to just be like, okay, officer, I know all my papers is clean. I know my tags is clean. I ain't got no dope in the car. I ain't got no guns in the car. Everything is Gucci. So, all right, I'm going to let it. And if I feel like homeboy is looking a little afraid, a little nervous, I'm going to say, are you afraid right now? Because I don't have no intention on harming you. You don't have to be afraid of me right now. I'm going to try to diffuse whatever. If I see he's on one, he on some white cop, whatever bullshit, I'm going to do everything I can to diffuse that situation. If he got me sitting there for a little while, I try to tend to have compassion on the motherfucker, because I'll be like, man, you already clearly a lame motherfucker, because that's why you know what I mean? You couldn't wait to get your badge and your gun so you could flex on it. I already peeped that. I don't have to engage that. You're corny to me. And I'm riding clean. So I'm about to reach in my glove compartment right now, okay? I don't have any weapons on me, okay? I'm letting you know I'm reaching in my glove compartment. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. And I'm going to move slow. I'm going to have my hands on the wheel. I'm going to comply. I'm going to just comply, because my goal is I want to go the fuck home, bro. I want to go home. I don't want to be tussling in the street with you. Back to my point when I said about how I got into R&B. Nigga, I like girls. I don't want to roll on the ground with men. You feel me? I don't want to rustle and tussle with no fucking man. I want to go home to my shorty. I like women. You feel me? So I'm cool on whatever this energy is that you want to get to grappling and gripping up on me. I'm not with that energy.
Right.
So I'm going to just keep everything. I just try to tell my sons, remain calm. You ain't got to get to arguing with this dude. You ain't got to start yelling back and forth with him. If you know your paperwork's clean, just move slow. He's already nervous. Move slow. Get your paperwork, give it to him, let him run your thing, whatever, whoopty-whoopty-woo. If he want to be an extra super dickhead and pull you out the car, make you sit on the ground and all that, I get it. It's fucked up and it's whack, but we were born black in America, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I honestly, it's horrible, and we're doing different things to try to correct it. We're protesting. We're doing everything we can to correct it, but the fact is, we're born black in America. That's a fact. So now we have to be smart and black in America. That's my logic. Be smart and black in America.
See,
and make it home.
I say it every episode, damn near. Knowledge is power, but when you use that knowledge, it's a superpower. You know, be smart
Facts.
about everything you do and make the right choices of being smart, especially when the knowledge is in
Absolutely.
front of you. You know, all the information
Absolutely.
that you just gave right now can give enough power to anybody to be comfortable to interact with the police and move forward. Because, you know, if not,
I don't really.
take me to
Yeah.
jail. Let's get this
Yeah.
over with. Let me get out in 2 hours.
Facts. I just, you know, like I said, man, when you can I try to keep, I even wrote it on a little sticky note that I keep right on the side of my bed, so that as soon as I wake up in the morning, open my eyes, it's the first thing that I read. And it says, kill the ego, kill the ego, kill the ego. Our ego gets us in trouble. Now, let me say this again. Let me be clear. I am not negating the fact that there are some fuckboy ass police out there that just be on fuckboy shit from 9 to 5, and they harass people. And I know certain of my brothers and sisters live in areas where stop and frisk and all these other things, that these are things that they deal with, and I am extremely sensitive to that. And I am not trying to make it seem like, oh, you all right? Blah, blah, blah. Nah, I know the shit is wild. I thank God that I've been fortunate enough to move out of the hood and move to areas, you know what I mean, where that's not so much of a problem. And that's because I applied myself too mentally to get my ass out the hood, you know? So that's one thing I would say. You want to do everything you can to get out of areas where that's a problem. And then number two, if you find yourself dealing with that, man, stay calm, man. Just stay calm, man. I don't have no war words with this fucking police nigga. He got a gun on him, my nigga. He got a gun on him. He wants to shoot you, bro. Do you realize that? And do you realize that he's gonna get away with it? He does.
Come on, he get
Do you
paid.
realize that? Exactly. So when we realize that the system is rigged, they playing a whole nother game, my nigga.
Facts.
I'm not giving them shit. I'm not giving them no time of mine in jail. I'm not giving them my life. I'm not giving him none of that bullshit. You're not gonna gun me down in front of my family. It's cool, bro. You want me to pull me out the car? I'm gonna say, stay calm, babe. Don't yell. Don't say a goddamn word. Just be quiet. I'm gonna go sit on the.
Yep, legs crossed, arms over hands. Go through the process. Bro, I appreciate you weighing in on this topic. I know for a lot of people, it weighs close to their heart and it's on their mind. Oh, God bless. You know, it weighs close to their heart and heavy on their mind. And so, you know, I really appreciate you taking the time to shed the energy and also the influence in that situation. And
Absolutely.
you know, I definitely want to take the time right now to give you your flowers and roses for being a dedicated father and husband. You know, being in the industry, that thing is not easy to do. It is not easy to have a balance and make things work. I'm married. I got 2 kids. I understand. And, you know, I ask everybody, what's your secret? What's the balance?
The balance is exactly that. It's balance. It's, you know, making time. You can't just be slave to the game. I used to be that, you know, used to just be all business, slave to the game. I was chasing. I just was talking about it in another interview I did yesterday where it was like, you know, at this stage of my life, I'm no longer chasing. I'm not chasing my dreams. Dreams aren't meant to be chased.
Right.
Dreams, you know what I mean? Dreams are meant to be fulfilled. They're supposed to blossom from within you and then come without you. You know, it's not something that you're running after. So, you know, my mom used to tell me all the time before she passed, she would say, you know, Ryan, don't do it for the money. Do it because you love it and the money will follow. And it took me a long time. I've been in the game 28 years, and it took me a long time to finally get that through my head to really understand that it's not about the chase. You don't chase your dreams. You don't chase money. You do what you love, and you do it to a high level and high quality. And with, you know, faith in God and belief in yourself and a great work ethic, the money going to chase you. They going to come calling you because you can't deny the hustle. So with that being said, now I'm just at a place where the balance is there. It's not all work. I mean, I make time to just relax sometimes. I might take 2-3 days, sometimes even a week. I don't do nothing. I ain't got no songs. I don't have no melodies in my head. I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to wait for the spirit to come back to me. And in the meantime, I'm going to live life. I'm going to hug my wife, chill with my ladies, spend some quality time doing nothing, going to get something to eat, going to the beach, catching a sunrise or a sunset, and just like really recharging, chilling with my kids. You know, my kids don't live with me, so I try to make time to fly out to Jersey to spend time with them and just spend quality time. And that's what helps to recalibrate my system. So then when I do get back to work, I'm charged, I'm ready. You feel me? And so that's been my balance, is just finding balance.
Man, no, and I think, you know, the word that you didn't say in there, and it was raised all the way throughout, was priority. You prioritize what makes sense, and that really balances what you're gonna do next.
Absolutely.
No, I appreciate that, brother, because I ask everybody, and believe it or not, everyone's weighing in on me and helping me in my own relationship, because my life has been changing fast. You know, I barely started doing this show December 2019. And
nice.
within a month, I was blessed to have Bobby D get behind the show. And then about 3 months later, Uncle Snoop got behind it. And so
nice.
You know, it's been amazing of a journey. Nice. It took a long time to be like, the universe works for me. It just doesn't work for everything else I'm trying to do throughout this whole time. But I learned so much.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely embrace it. I got this next segment. It's called Trading Places. And, you know, it's like that Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy movie, you know, where they wake up, Mortimer's trades places. And you know, I take two iconic lives and we're going to talk about it. And, you know, question number one is, will it work? Question number two is, what would life be like if they traded places? And, you know, you being from Jersey, I took two people from Jersey. I took Lady Gaga trading places with Queen Latifah.
Will it work like if Lady Gaga was the rapper and Queen Latifah was the singer?
Yes. And they swapped everything.
Yeah, it'll work. It will work. Because if they swapped eras, I mean, shit, in the late 80s, when Queen Latifah came out, that was almost around the same time Vanilla Ice came out. And he blew the fuck up as like one of the first white boy rappers. I mean, Beastie Boys blew up as one of the first white boy rappers. So if Lady Gaga was a dope ass Jersey rapping ass white girl, and that she would have popped like crazy. Especially if she was saying something, you know, she was kind of spitting some real bars about, I mean, look at Third Base. Third Base was two white guys in the late 80s. They blew up and was much respected in the game. So I think Lady Gaga, I mean, she's undoubtedly super duper fucking talented. She can sing, you know what I mean? So, I mean, if she'd have came out back then, she'd have blew. And as far as Queen Latifah, I mean, she's not just a rapper, but she's a singer. So if she was to come out, you know what I mean, on some like pop shit right now or in the 2000s, I mean, Queen Latifah could be Lizzo.
Right. Because you know what? I took the same parallel because one, Queen Latifah wasn't scared to come out and be her. That's one thing I really respect about her. And she's so humble and down to earth. Lady Gaga is the same thing, humble down to earth, but she didn't give a fuck about what people said about her. And she, exposed that moment to the most, and it created a lot of fans, created a lot of commotion, and vice versa. The same thing for Queen Latifah. She just, she wasn't crazy enough to do some of the shit that Lady Gaga do. Bro, it's just certain things I can't see myself doing that white people do. But I really feel like Queen Latifah would have really embraced it and changed it into a greater habit. I feel like Queen Latifah would have had Lady Gaga still acting. Versus Lady Gaga really never went into the realm of acting.
Yes, she did. She was just in a hit movie. The movie Born to Sing.
Oh yes, you're right.
That movie is amazing. That movie's a classic, and Gaga killed that shit.
See, and that's the thing. I didn't even recognize her in it. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, she had the blonde hair. Yeah, you're right.
Had a big ass song in the movie that she murdered.
And I think, now I'm thinking about it, I think it's because she removed herself from the industry from so long that it didn't register me that was her. Yeah,
Gaga is the real deal, dog. I have nothing but respect for her. She's the real fucking deal. That girl went from pop to rock. She did a whole album with, who was it? Not Dean Martin. One of those old dudes from like Rat Pack days. She did a whole like jazz album with this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, Gaga is the real deal, bro. Then she did an album about a country star and made a big-ass country hit. She's the real deal. Absolutely. I have nothing but respect for her. So to me, her and Queen Latifah are the same because Dana went from hip-hop. I mean, she came out the gate talking some whole other shit than all the other female rappers. She wasn't shaking her ass. She wasn't doing push it like Salt and Pepper. She wasn't talking about money and gold chains. She came out calling herself Queen Latifah. She had the big headdress. She was on her ladies first with the military jacket. So she was different right from the rip. That's how Gaga was. Queen Latifah came with that. She didn't care. Then Latifah got into the acting when rappers wasn't really doing that like that. She was one of the first to set it off with the acting. She killed that. Then Latifah came back on her singing shit and did a jazz album. So to me, they're the same. That's the same. That's the same. That's exactly the same. They have the same mentality of, and that mentality is, I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Big ups, Lady Gaga, Queen Latifah. I appreciate you sisters for doing everything y'all do and leaving your imprint on music. But no, that shit was fun to talk about that, because shit, you just educated.
And they both donned themselves with royal names, Queen Latifah and Lady Gaga.
Power.
Lord and Lady, that's a royal name to call yourself Lady Gaga.
Fact.
You see what I'm saying? To me, that's the same. I see that parallel like seamless.
Man, you know, I be trying to have them all like that, but certain people don't be understanding the way I be thinking, and it's okay. You get a chance to explain it, but shit, you went ahead and endorsed me on the under.
Yeah, bro, because I study the game. I be looking for parallels. That's how I'm able to, you know, last in the game. And you was talking about, I didn't get to really answer your question earlier when you asked me, how was I able to like reinvent myself? It's because I look for the parallels in the game. That's why I'm able to appreciate the youngsters, because they're just doing what we did, just in a new way. They're the same thing. When I hear Tekashi 6ix9ine, I ain't talking about none of that other shit. I'm talking about music. I'm just talking about music. When I hear Tekashi 6ix9ine sonically, him yelling on tracks and the way I'm like, that's Onyx. To me, that's how Onyx was. Slam, I mean, the boys in the rowdy, just rowdy ass fucking turn, you know what I mean? So I hear Onyx, I hear DMX. I'm not saying that lyrically, bar for bar, he's the same, but as far as energetically, sonically, he's a screaming ass motherfucker over a rowdy ass track, and he got everybody going bonkers, ready to jump in the mosh pit. To me, it's the same. So I always look for those similarities, man. People, see, this is the key to success. Stop. Jay-Z even said this. Everybody looks for why we're different. In religion, everybody looking for why, oh, you Muslim, you Christian, oh, we don't do that. Not even realizing that Christians, Muslims, and Jews all come from the same motherfucker. All of them come from Abraham. All three of them. And they all fighting over who was daddy's favorite. You see what I'm saying? And they all the same. So to be successful, you have to look for patterns. You have to look for similarities in things. Oh, that's just like how they did da-da-da-da-da. So all they doing is doing such and such, but they putting that new spin on it? Oh, okay, that's all they doing. Well, I definitely know how to do that because I grew up on that. So all I got to do is add this little spin. All the little nigga did was paint his hair purple. That's Onyx with purple hair. Onyx had bald heads. He's Onyx with purple hair. Like, you feel me? This is how you win, because like you said, history repeats itself, but it repeats itself with a new spin. Yeah. So this is how you're successful, because you look for patterns in life, and then you're able to predict the next pattern. I can already, you know what I mean? I can already see what's coming, because if motherfuckers like that, and then, okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do Onyx. You saw how quickly I was able to find the pattern, and well, hold up. So if we do the math, boom, the secret came out. Yeah, well, Vanilla Ice came out. He was just the white MC Hammer. So why couldn't Lady Gaga have been the white Queen Latifah? Why not?
That's a full circle.
I mean, third base was just the white EPMD.
Come on.
Seen that. I saw that when I was 6 years old, 7 years old. I used to study the game. I'm like, oh, you're the white. The New Kids on the Block was the white New Edition, was they not?
Facts.
Come on, bro. This is so. I look for the patterns and the similarities, and then do the math, and then you can calculate what the next movie is going to be, and that's when you insert yourself and you get a bag.
Power. Good Lord. I'll let that resonate with everybody watching right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get back control of my thoughts, because that shit blew me over. I had to get back over. I realized I didn't fall out my chair. Man, bruh. So I have this next segment. It's called Impulse Q&A. You know, and the whole idea is that I got questions on cards, and you know, they're like from a fan perspective. You have an option to pass on any of the questions, but you still got to answer 3 questions.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Question number 1. What is something you get wrong almost every time you do it?
Shit. As of right now, I ain't even gonna hold you. Trying to connect with my 20-year-old daughter. For some reason, I just keep fucking it up. I don't know why. I'll get it right though.
All I think is keep on trying. Keep on trying. For me,
Exactly.
My ass ain't rollerblade for nothing. Like for nothing. And so, you know, as I grew up, my little brother and sister used to get paid to push me and knock me over. So I'd be, you know, the fall and the last clown of the whole event. But
that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. I get it right.
Yeah, that's it, brother. That's it, brother. Because at the end of the day, they just want to hear a voice. Like I grew up without a father. Like my dad died when I was 4. So like,
oh wow.
All I be looking for is just an acknowledgement or a voice sometimes of like, okay, you are doing the right thing. It is a confirmation.
Yeah.
And, you know, affirmation. And so,
That's
yeah.
true.
So like,
Yep.
you know, from that perspective, bro, just keep on trying, brother, because you know what's going to happen is it's going to cave
Absolutely.
into snowball effect.
It gets greater later. That's what I keep telling myself.
That's it. But the main thing is keep on investing the time. Keep watering that garden. Eventually something will blossom.
Facts. Facts. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All love, brother. All love. Question number 2. If you were reincarnated as a famous landmark, which would it be?
Landmark? I would want to be the obelisk in Egypt. Yeah. You know the obelisk? Like the Washington Monument? The obelisk?
Oh, okay.
The straight thing that goes straight up to the point, the straight tower, the stone tower. That's called an obelisk. And they got that from Egypt. And like, you know, in Masonic, you know, a lot, you know, Egypt, you know, the founding fathers and stuff were Masons, and they followed a lot of Masonic rule and ancient secrets of Egypt. And they built Washington, D.C. on a particular grid with, you know, by signs and different things that have to do with Masonic secrets. And they also built an Egyptian obelisk right in the middle of Washington, D.C. They called the Washington Monument. There's even one at the Vatican. You know what I mean? It's a very powerful symbol. It's a phallic symbol. It represents, you know, masculinity. It represents like the male. It's a lot of things that it represents. I would advise the listeners to do some research on the obelisk, but it's a power symbol. And it's almost like an antenna to heaven. And I would want to be that.
Bruh, you know what? I want to be that too. I want to research it and everything. Damn, you just, and you know, I appreciate it because most people want to be like a bridge. Most people want to be something that's most traveled. You put some power into that. No.
Yeah. No, I want to be something that was used to harness energy from the stars. You know, the Egyptians was on some other shit. They was on some magical shit. They understood energy, harnessing energy. They understood energy manipulation. They understood the stars. They understood where we came from. They understood how to, I can't say it enough, harness power, how to harness energy. That's why, you know, you see these same symbols in different places, different regions on earth that are power centers, like Washington, D.C., or like the Vatican. They're power centers, are they not?
Right. No, facts.
So you see these images there. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, something that I love that you're saying is that in energy, you're not talking anything about potential. You're talking about using it all. And you know, something I hate about people is that they have the greatest potential, be afraid of success, and never do anything, and it's just wasted energy.
Absolutely. A lot of times, because people are scared to make a move, their insecurities, their doubts, their anxieties, it can cause what's called a paralysis of analysis. You start to overanalyze what you're doing so much to the point where you become paralyzed and you don't make no move at all.
Yep.
So, you know, I feel like, you know, with Egypt and Africa and all of that being the birthplace of mankind, the birthplace of civilization and earth and stuff like that, a symbol like the obelisk is almost like a center point. It's like almost like the center point of the earth. You feel me? And so for me, I want to get myself, you know, with all the meditation and different things that I'm doing and self-work that I've done to pull myself out of depression and anxiety and attempting suicide and just darkness in my life and drugs and alcohol and women and all this other nonsense. It's like I'm bringing myself to my center point. I'm bringing myself to that obelistic point where I'm tapped in to that universal power where I can harness that and be one with myself. That's why I said I don't have time to engage in no BS with no scared ass white cop who clearly is not balanced. I'm balanced. He's not balanced. So his unbalance, I can't let that bring me out of balance and then I die in front of my children and my wife. What did I get out of that? And now I'm just another face on a t-shirt in a Black Lives Matter campaign? Fuck that. No, bro. I'm going to stay balanced. And if anything, I'm going to give you this pure love and this pure light. I'm going to give you, because you're broken. And I see myself in you. And you see yourself in me. You know what I mean? But we're just not acknowledging it. You understand what I'm saying? We want to act like we're different, but we're really not. So I know you're scared. I know you're scared of this dark ass black man sitting in his car looking like a king, looking like a god. I know you're afraid of that.
You ain't lying, bruh. Because at the end of the day, the personification of fear comes from within of what they can't control.
Yeah. Exactly. So I know you're afraid. You're afraid of me because you're afraid of yourself. You're afraid of yourself. So I'm going to help you I'm going to diffuse the situation by letting you know you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. You feel what I'm saying? And I know you're afraid because if you was really about that life, you'll take that gun and that taser off your belt and let's just rock like men. But you ain't going to do that. You going to call 15 of your backup homeboys and they all got pistols and y'all niggas going to jump me like a bunch of pussies. You feel me? And you going to shoot me and tase me because you really don't want it. So I get it. I get it. I get it. You're afraid. And I get it. You're doing a job too. And I respect the job. So to all the police officers, please, I mean, no disrespect. But to the fuckboy cops, fuck y'all. You're scary. You feel me? And you signed up for something that you really wasn't ready for. You feel me? And now you're letting your ego in the badge, in the fact that you're protected by the badge, shield your bitch assness. You feel me? And so let's just call it what it is. Now to the righteous cops and the ones that's doing what they supposed to do and that's protecting the community, salute. God bless you. I pray for your families. I pray for your safety. I pray for your health. You feel what I mean? But to all the other ones, bro, I just have no respect. I do have compassion because I can see like, yo, man, you just afraid. You scared. You still the scary ass little white boy you was in school getting beat up. And I get it. And now you at the point where you ain't going to get beat up no more. And I get it. I get it. So you got your big ass gun and you joined a big ass gang. And I get it. Yep. I get it. So, you know, but my point is to circle it all back. My life is about coming to that obelistic center, coming to my point of clarity and my point of oneness with God, oneness with myself, oneness with the earth, and the energy around me, and being centered. You know what I mean? So that's my whole. That's what I would want to be. That's the monument I want to be.
I got question number 3. What's something that you recommend everyone tries at least once?
Meditation. Meditation, absolutely.
Now, do you meditate as soon as you wake up, or do you meditate like at a certain point in the day or at night? Because Ryan Fest told me that I need to get in my bed, and when I wake up, lay there for 40 minutes, and don't move.
I try to take time before I get up. I don't just jump up and turn my phone on. I don't just jump up and turn the TV on. I don't just jump up and turn the radio on. I don't even just jump up and turn my mind on. You wake up in the morning, then your mind immediately starts, oh man, I gotta take the kids to the thing. I gotta pick up I gotta drop this money off. I gotta put it in your mind just all fucking day, all day. Then by the time you get home, that's why you need some Henny, you need some weed, you need to be able to do something to kind of fucking calm that shit down. So what I try to do is before I even allow my mind to get going, I don't turn my phone on, I don't turn the radio on, TV on, I don't turn my mind on. I sit, I told you, I look at what I wrote. That's just one of the quotes that I have on the side of my bed is kill the ego. Another one that I read that I have on the side of my bed. I mean, I got a gang of them on the side of my bed. One of them just, is a reminder that I'm full of love and full of light. One of them is a reminder to, that this is all just a dream. This is just a dream sequence we're in right now. And, to just enjoy the dream. Another one reminds me that, I am not the body. I'm not the mind. I'm something beyond that. I am the creator of the body and the mind. I am not the body and the mind. I'm not a black man from New Jersey. I'm something else, bro. I'm a god. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just projecting myself into the earth realm as a black man from South Jersey. You feel me? So just understanding those things about myself, I try to take that in. Deep breathing. I do some deep breathing. And inhaling through the nose, hold for a second, and think the word let, and then exhale out of the mouth, hold for a second, think the word go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And I do that for a while, and try to focus on just the breath, just the inflow and outflow of the oxygen, and just be present. Because nothing really matters, dog. All the chasing, all the shit you about to do for the rest of the day on your busy ass schedule really don't mean a goddamn thing. It really don't. It really don't. I don't care if you chasing a bag. I don't give a fuck what you doing, bro. That shit don't mean shit. Because as you can see, when Corona hit and everybody was stuck at home, nobody gives a fuck. We're all stuck at home. I don't care if you got a mansion, you're stuck in your mansion. Yeah. You see it. All our favorite celebrities got big ass beards. They grays growing out. Niggas ain't got no haircut. Girls ain't wearing no makeup. Nobody gives a fuck. You see what I mean? So don't get so wrapped up in the shit you got going like that shit is really life. No, it's not. It's just something you do throughout the day, but it ain't really life, nigga. It ain't life. Because if the motherfucking lights went out right now, if they turn the lights out and we ain't got no more electricity, no more phones, no more computers, no more refrigerators, we all back to sticks and stones and hunting for food.
Facts.
If you a Wall Street banker, guess what, nigga? Ain't no more Wall Street. Now you out here in the woods with me, nigga.
Trying to figure it out. You better
gotta learn how to fish and light a fire.
Man, oh so man, them stockbrokers don't know.
You gotta remember that.
Stockbrokers don't know out of bounds.
Exactly. So I try to remind myself of those things of what really matters and calm my soul, calm my mind, calm my spirit. And then, and just take that time to meditate, bro. Slow the mind down. You got to slow your mind down, So you can, Go ahead.
That you're able to slow your mind down is when you're able to really focus and zero in on what you're trying to do. You can't manifest greatness if you allow 10 other things to get in the way.
Exactly. You have to be able to slow everything down. I mean, in any discipline, whether it be martial arts, boxing, basketball, football, golf, surgery, right? You have to clear your mind to be able to be present in the moment. That's how you win. That's how you succeed. You can't be all over the place, think about this, think about that, and you trying to do open heart surgery. You can't be thinking about this and that, think about this and that, and you trying to score the winning shot that's going to win the game. You can't be thinking about all this other bullshit. When Floyd talks about how, he said, I don't know. He said that when I'm in the ring, it's like everything slows down. He slows his mind down. He can see the punch coming a mile away, and he's like,
shoulder up.
He's a master. He's a wizard because he knows how to slow his mind down. He knows how to slow everything down, and that's the key to longevity. That's the key to good mental health and well-being is slowing the mind down. That's the only reason why niggas want to take drugs. You take drugs to slow everything down. You want to drink to slow everything the fuck down so you could chill, so you could fucking relax and fucking think for a second. Man, I need a drink, nigga. Shit, where the blunt at? I'm trying to slow everything the fuck down, fam. So I can get out of my head.
Bro, you ain't lying, bro, on God. Like, I smoke the coke. Like, I smoke the coke. Exactly. He starts out my head and slow shit down. Like, as we grew up as kids, we wasn't told we had ADHD or none of that. All we was told is sit your ass down.
Yep. You too hyper. Exactly. That's why I go running on the beach. I started finding other healthier ways to slow my mind down. You know what I mean? So I don't have to be like drinking myself to sleep every night, and I ain't gotta be popping pills and getting high all the time. You know what I mean? So I had to find other ways, or the healthier ways, more productive ways to slow my mind down and be in a good mental space to be present. So I started getting out in nature. I go hiking up in the canyons. That's one of the things I love about living in Southern California, is that you can go from hiking in the mountains to running on the beach in the same day. You feel me? So I do that. I do that regularly. I do boxing training because boxing helps me slow. You have to slow your mind down to think. You gonna get your block knocked off. You feel me? So I use boxing to help me center my mind. Running, I'll just go for a run and zone out. Stretching is very, very key. So sometimes too, I might pop an edible because I like the muscle relaxation, and I can get a deep stretch in off a good edible, 20 milligrams, and I can stretch, take a lot of the stress and tension out of my lower back and out of my all this tightness we be having, especially for cats like us. We sit at our computers all day, so all this tightness up in here and all in your lower back and in your hips, we carry a lot of stress in our hips. I stretch all that shit out, fam. I'll stretch for a good fucking 2 hours off a good edible, fam.
Right, you putting me on some shit right now, boy.
Facts. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't really mess with the edibles. I'm a backwood type of person, you know.
Yeah.
But
what even if I smoke, it's the same thing. I don't really like marijuana too much because it makes me paranoid because I overthink shit. But when I do take an edible, it gives me more of a body high. So I just get into my body, and I'm able to think, and I'm able to just, you know what I mean, stretch and breathe and reach and pull and really work out kinks and bad shoulder and all. I done rehab my dislocated shoulder. I done fully rejuvenated my life, kid. I had to, my nigga. I was falling apart, bro.
Hey, I gotta tell you now, my brother, you know, you age very well. You know, black don't crack, but you definitely in the definition of that.
Thank you, King. It'll crack if you keep cracking at it, though.
Stress. Man, let go, let God. Let go, let God.
Facts.
Control what you can control, let go of everything else, and just be smart about what you let go.
Absolutely. That's a fact. Absolutely.
So, man, bro, you survived my Trading Places segment. You survived my Impulse Q&A, and as a reward, man, I want you to talk about these 8 weeks of EPs you've been dropping, or albums every Friday. You know, I want to know what else you got coming up. You know, what are you doing? Who you working with? You know, come on, it's your time to promote right now. You earned it.
Oh, well, listen, first off, let me tell y'all, at Ryan Toby Ryan on Instagram and Twitter. On Facebook, it's Ryan Toby, RyanToby. And please follow me, tap in, get in tune. I got nothing but love, light, positivity, and bomb fire ass music for you. I salute, man. I honestly, when the when the lockdown happened and it got real, like, oh shit, we gotta stay in the house. I don't know, man. I had an epiphany. I can honestly say it came to me in a dream. It was like I was talking to my mom, you know, who I lost in 2008, but she came to me in a dream, and I was talking about this record I said, I think I'm gonna put this song out. And she was like, nah, don't put out that song. You should put out this song. And I was like, damn, you're right. And then from there, I woke up literally with the idea, like, yo, I'm gonna put out a song. Everybody gonna be home on their phone. I might as well take full advantage of that. So I was like, I'm gonna put out this song. And then from there, it just kind of started steamrolling and snowballing from like a song to like, now I'm gonna put out a whole project. Then I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna put out a project next week too. And then it just kind of started taking shape from there. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drop a project. I'm gonna see if I could drop a project, a whole album, at least 7-8 songs every week during the lockdown. And so we are now at week 8. I got volume 8 dropping tonight at midnight. Super fire. And I'm just having fun, man. I just really got super creative. I made a promise to myself earlier this year, one of my 2020 resolutions, something that I even wrote on my vision board was be more childlike, like get back to that childlike creativity that I used to have. Everything became business. Everything became the music industry. Everything just got so adult that it got stifled and suffocated, and it's about work and it's about making money, and that shit started killing me, man. It's too fucking stressful. So I was like, man, I just need to get loose again and just get back to the days of when we was breakdancing on cardboard and shit in the middle of the street and like, making big ass goofy aluminum foil medallions because we couldn't afford real medallions and just all kind of shit. Cutting crazy designs in our hair and getting in trouble in school, beatboxing, banging on the desk, making beats, rapping and freestyling all day. Like, it wasn't about no money then. It was just about the vibe. It was just about, oh, ooh, yo, you hear what he said? Oh, it was just for that.
That's it.
So I was like, I just wanted to get back to that, bro. Like, also too, turning 40, you start questioning your life. You're going through your little midlife crisis or whatever. Oh man, what am I gonna do? I'm getting old now, blah, 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 blah. And I just like made a promise to myself that I was gonna flourish in my 40s. I was not gonna fall off. I was not gonna get fat and corny. Nah, I'm gonna stay with the shits. I'm gonna get in super good shape. I'm just gonna go hard with my craft and I'm gonna release my music. I'm gonna stop the cycle of paralysis of analysis and overthinking the shit and never putting nothing out because I'm always overthinking it, trying to make it perfect. Fuck that, man. I'm gonna lean on the fact that I got 28 years experience. I know my shit is dope. I know how to make hot music. Trust it, Ryan. Trust it, Ryan. Trust it. And I also made, I told myself, don't do it for your peers because, your peers, they can pick your shit apart. You know what I mean? Your peers are going to pick it apart because they, oh man, the hi-hat was too loud. And I think the chords in the bridge should have went like this instead of like that. The regular fan, they don't give a fuck about that shit.
They don't know.
They don't care. They just know whether they like it or not. That's it. I was like, Ryan, don't do it for your peers. Do it for the fans. Give the fans the music. Let them judge. Let the people decide. Don't play it for your record industry homies because they going to always have something to say. It's their job to have something to say. Don't play it for no A&R because it's his job to pick it apart. You feel me? But for the regular fan, the regular nigga going to work every day, driving a truck every day, yo, dude, that shit hard. It get me through my day. So I'm like, I just wanted to be a blessing to the people. I wanted to share my love and my light, and I wanted to get out of my own way. And I wanted now in that regard, I did that for my peers. I wanted my peers to see and other artists and other creatives who may be going through the same struggles of waiting and I don't know, should I put it out, self-doubt and all this negative head talk. I wanted to show them how to just get out of your own way and just do the shit, Yeah. You just gotta jump. You just gotta jump and the parachute will come. You feel me? So I just wanted to get busy. I wanted to show motherfuckers, like I said, I'm not one to try to keep trying to like beat you in the head with who I am and what my history is. Nah, nigga, I'm gonna show you what I'm about. I'm gonna get busy and show you what I'm about. I don't give a fuck whether you remember who I am from City High, Sister Act. We ain't gotta ever talk about that shit. We don't ever have to talk about that. Let's talk about this new shit I'm on. You hear my new shit though? But did you hear my new shit though? Yeah, that's cool. Did you hear my new shit though?
Come on. Man, it's being brought.
Yeah, that's what I'm on. So, yeah, man, I think I'm going to go to, the lockdown hopefully is looking like it's going to start to lift. I know a lot of states have been lifting it. So I got about 2 more lockdown albums I'm going to do. At least I get to a solid 10-pack. And that's something that I can hold, poke my chest out and say, Ryan, you did that. You put out 10 albums in 10 weeks. You dig? You put out over 80 songs in 10 weeks. You lit the motherfucking lockdown up. That's something that I can walk around. I can check that off my bucket list. You feel me? I feel good about that. So I needed to do that for me. You feel me? And that's something that I could stand tall and proud about. And I got way more albums than that ready to go. But as far as the lockdown series, I'm going to do a good solid 10-pack. And then, we'll see. We'll see from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see how humble, how hungry, and how determined you are to turn over the next day because the hits gotta keep on coming.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do.
All love, all love. Now, Brett, if you notice the show is different, it's unique. We try to do something like the other shows, like the same type of dynamics, but we do it our way, or really my way. And, I was like, man, how the hell do I end this show? My viewers knows it's coming. And so I'm like, well, how do I keep the same energy? How do I do all that? And it hit me. And so, I'm about to hit you with it. You got any questions for me?
Well, first off, let me say thank you. What I really appreciate, I'll tell you, let me give you your flowers, bro. I really appreciate the way you conducted this energy, the tempo of it, the flow of it. The questions are unique. And you're the type of host that actually is interested in what your guest has to say. I've been on a few different podcasts and interviews where it's like the host is talking more than me. And I'm like, nigga, am I the guest or you the guest? Like, you know what I mean? So I like that you're not one of those hosts that just like to hear the sound of their voice the whole damn time. Like, and I know a lot of fans, when I look in the comment section of certain shows like that, the fans are always like, nigga, shut up and let the nigga tell his stories. Like, that's why your guest is on there, to tell the stories and give them the knowledge and the insights. So I gotta say thank you very much for making me feel at home and making me feel like my stories, my history, and my knowledge is appreciated. That's very big of you, and I really appreciate that. And I guess a question I would just say is like, what are your plans for the future? Where do you see this show going? Where do you see yourself in the next 5, 6, 10 years?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you now. First of all, I feel greedy because you are a part of my history and the show's history as well. So, you know, as much as I appreciate everything that you just said about me, I'm not gonna lie. Your history that you got to share on here is a part of my history and the progress of my show. So, one, I gotta make sure I get that out there. The goal of the show, bro, is to put it on the network. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, how the universe works and my plans and manifestation and planning and seeing it through, everything I've envisioned and you know, the spirit and everything leading me, it's been downhill. I've been really blessed. And then, like, I had an interview with the Baker Boys, and I'm gonna say this story, I probably said it a few times on here. And you know, they had a moment where they made a song for House of Pain, the #1 song in the country. And they got this opportunity to work for the radio station, and they never ever went back to making music until the radio shit died down a little bit. And so, you know, they're radio icons, they're, you know, radio royalty, but they could have enhanced their whole career and, you know, have 10 times the amount of money, 10 times the amount of relationships, and built on them if they would have just enhanced those opportunities. And so, you know, I take that and I take it with heed. And, you know, they told me. And so, I'm like, damn, I got to make sure that I have relationships with everybody. I connect with people. Because, you know, that's what everything's about, is having genuineness. And, you know, you don't know. You don't know how the next turn, you know, a chiropractor told me the best thing you could do is, you know, refer me to somebody else to say thank you. And so I take all of that into heat when I do this show. And the goal is to put it on the network and keep on shining light to people that have paved the way for others and, you know, created that bridge over the cul-de-sac to success. They didn't allow the circumstance to eat them. They didn't allow them project walls to keep them inside. They didn't allow them, you know, whatever their parents had envisioned for them and it wasn't their feeling, they, you know, that didn't affect them on their progress. And so, you know, I appreciate you. Like, that's the #1 thing of this show is success and appreciation and keeping that light and energy and vibe at the highest level and taking it there on, you know, whatever platform I can get it on.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, man. Well, I'm around, bro. I'm glad we met. I'm glad we got a chance to connect. And we're going to grow together because you helping my dreams come true. You're giving me more exposure on your platform, and I truly appreciate it. And whenever you need me to come back and drop some gems or tap in with your fans, I'm always down, bro.
Man, I may be asking you for an intro to the show or something, you know.
Let's get it. That's light work. That's the light team. Yeah, man. Bless up.
It's Contrast Uncut, Season 3, Episode 26. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. I wouldn't be able to do dope shit and interview incredible people like this gentleman next to me on the side of the screen and get in his history. I mean, King Toby. Toby, bro, you put Ryan, you put so much into this show, bro. Like, you blew me away. You taught me so much. And you know, iron sharpens iron. I feel like not only was my iron sharp and my whole shit became diamonds underneath. You made that iron come out the diamond, the dirt, diamond in the dirt, diamond in the rough. Now I'm dancing.
Absolutely.
Man, appreciate you.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby, Mr. Oh Happy Day. At Ryan Toby Ryan. Yo, stay tapped in, stay tuned in. You here with Contrast Uncut. Gotta send big love, big shout out to Uncle Snoop and Bobby D. Let's get it, baby.
Damn. Man, I know you guys can't smell this right now, and I ain't talking about none of that other stuff. I'm talking about some of that good stuff, that smell good stuff. I think it's breakfast. What time is it? It's breakfast time. Make sure you tune in to Contrast Uncut no matter what you're doing. Whether you're eating breakfast, you're smelling good food like I'm smelling, or if you're smelling other stuff, we're good to watch too. Make sure you tune in. Thank you.